Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I'm George. We're all George. So, something very, very, very bullish just happened for Bitcoin and crypto. Elon's X may have obtained the very coveted crypto license it's been seeking for quite some time. So, let's talk about that, and let's talk about all the other bullishness for Bitcoin and crypto. There's a lot of bullishness everywhere. All day, every day. That's what you'll hear on this channel. Let's get started. Welcome, welcome, welcome. The market bell has just rung. Let's see how today will go. Right now, red, but barely in the red, about even. Okay, so stock market, I mean, it's been pretty good recently. I would say last week's good. So far this week is okay. We'll see if today continues. We do have a lot of economic data to digest. JOLTS is today, payrolls tomorrow, GDP tomorrow, home sales tomorrow. Then we got PC inflation on Thursday, jobless claim on Thursday. I mean, this is a big week for economic data. So far, we had a break yesterday. Today, we're going to kick off a lot of this. And, of course, we'll see if this affects the market. Let's see how Wall Street reacts, because all of this, of course, affects this guy right here, Jerome Powell, in terms of whether or not he's going to do another rate hike next month, right? So, yeah, we got a lot of economic data to digest. We also have a lot of fears for China right now. I've covered them a couple days now. Evergrande, the biggest commercial developer, or maybe just real estate developer, may not even be commercial. Their stock is plunging, keeps on going down because they are insolvent and they're going bankrupt. But the question is, will China save them? Because China's in a really bad spot. Do they really want what happened to us in the U.S. in 2008 when, all the Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, AIG, all these big institutions, were collapsing, right? They needed to do something. They bailed all of them out. So is China going to do the same thing with Evergrande and others that may follow, right? I don't know. I think so, because they can't let their economy get any worse than it is. So that is also something to pay attention to as we move forward. Now, the big news, the big bullish news of the day is this. We know that Elon is trying to do something with X, aka Twitter. It still sounds stupid to say X. Okay, there's too many things. It's too short. No one knows what you're talking about when you say X. You should have just stuck with Twitter. There's no reason to call it X. I'm just going to rant a little bit about the name. It's still stupid. That's why articles still plug in Twitter, because you say X, no one knows what the hell you're talking about. You say Twitter, people know what you're talking about. Anyways, Elon's dream is to make Twitter, aka X, into this super global dApp that can be used for everything. Payments everywhere, including having a crypto wallet and being able to conduct crypto payments. And it seems like his wish just became true. So he obtained this Rhode Island currency transmission license, okay, which I didn't know is required for cryptocurrency payments. Recently, we know that PayPal got into the stablecoin game. We know that PayPal already allows crypto payments and allows cryptocurrency trading, right? Elon is going after PayPal, his old company. Yes, he's the founder of PayPal, and he used that money from PayPal, the earnings that he made once he exited, and he put it into SpaceX and Tesla and Solar City, right? And look at what happened with those three companies. So basically, he's going after the company he started. This is absolutely huge, right? We know that he's been trying to do this for a while. Elon always trolls about Doge and crypto, but deep down, he loves it. In fact, in the past, before he took over Twitter, he's done so many interviews where he talks about it. Especially the one with Kathy Wood and Jack Dorsey. He was going all gung-ho about Bitcoin, Ethereum, Doge. He says he owns a substantial amount of Bitcoin and Ethereum. SpaceX had a lot, even though it was reported they sold off all of it recently. Is that true? We don't know. Tesla still holds a lot. He personally holds a lot, right? And he's been talking about Doge for so long. You know that he wants to integrate Doge in some way, right? So I think it's all coming. And this is exactly what we need. We need a jolt, right? Recently, we're kind of stuck. And if he actually comes out, big press conference, hey, our wallet is coming. We're going to allow people to send payments to each other, accept payments, right? Maybe do a little integration with tipping or whatever. And also integrate some kind of swap feature if he partners up with someone, right? I mean, who knows? But any kind of announcement of that magnitude will definitely be very good for the entire market, right? Definitely drive things upwards. So this is very exciting. Very exciting indeed. Okay, and overall, it's going to make X or Twitter a lot better. Okay, I mean, he's making a lot of moves on Twitter, X. And I'm not so sure they're all good moves, but this definitely is a big, good, bullish news. So, I'm looking forward to it. Now, in addition to this gigantic, bullish, massive news, there's other reasons why this bull market is very different than previous bull markets. Okay, like what we saw in 2017, which was pretty crazy. 2021 was pretty crazy. But this author makes an argument that 2025 will be even crazier. And I agree, because I've been telling you guys these metrics, the fundamentals of Bitcoin, okay, have been getting better and better and better, and they have never been stronger than now. And this guy obviously has been paying attention because he states the same thing. Number one, hash rate. Hash rate is at an all-time high. Okay, this is the miners basically trying to find the next Bitcoins, and they're securing the network by doing so. So the hash rate is at an all-time high, and it has never done this before in a crypto winter or bear market. Hash rate usually is all-time high when we're at full-blown bull market. But this time around, we're in recovery. We're getting off a crypto winter, yet the hash rate is already at all-time high and continues to go higher. That's very different than previous cycles, right? What does that mean? That means the miners are not selling. Previous cycles, miners did have to sell. Sometimes they had to sell a lot. This time around, there's no miner selling anything. Okay, they are hoarding everything, holding everything that they're mining. That's why there's a supply shock. Okay, there's going to be a huge supply shock when the masses come in and then they realize there's not enough Bitcoins, right? And that's when we're going to get that supply shock and price will go parabolic once again. But number one, hash rate is an all-time high, despite the fact we're not in a parabolic bull run right now. Supply suffocation, same thing. Exchanges are losing their Bitcoin reserves at a alarming rate. Okay, we are now back to 2017 levels in terms of exchange reserves, and they keep on going down. There's more and more people that keep buying, DCAing, and there's new people coming in buying and DCAing. That's causing the supply to go down. Again, supply shock. It's going to come. Okay? And then lastly, the Great Wall Street accumulation, unlike previous cycles, we've never, ever had huge accumulation by the institutions, such huge interest from the likes of BlackRock and Fidelity and Vanguard, like the biggest asset managers on earth with trillions on their balance sheet. We never, ever had this kind of interest. Guess what that's going to do? Cause a supply shock, right? So all these things measure the fundamentals. And also, I've said this before, time and time again, what it comes down to is supply versus demand. Demand keeps on going up, supply keeps on going down. There will be a supply shock. There will be a huge price appreciation in the future. It's just a matter of time. You got to be patient, but man, how can you not be bullish after hearing those things, right? I mean, it's going to get crazy. I didn't even mention this yet. The number of holders doubled since 2019. And guess what? Addresses also all-time high. People that are holding above 1 Bitcoin, above 0.1 Bitcoin, above 0.01 Bitcoin, all addresses in existence, they're all at all-time high. Think about that. Again, supply shock. Okay, that's the words of the day. There's just so much goodness. I don't know how you cannot be bullish. Like, honestly, something else that never happened in previous cycles is global adoption too, or countries adopting. So that's something else to add to the bullishness. We know El Salvador already made Bitcoin legal tender, but now Argentina is becoming very pro-Bitcoin. Their presidential candidate is very pro-Bitcoin. Okay, and also the citizens are already pro-Bitcoin because Argentina suffers from hyperinflation. So what do you go do when your fiat becomes more and more worthless every single day? You have to buy something else with it, right? And the best alternative for them is Bitcoin. So we're starting to see global attention, global countries that are flocking and buying Bitcoin. Sometimes not even by choice. They just have to because you can't. You got to preserve your wealth somehow, right? We're seeing that with inflation here too, very slowly. But other countries are seeing massive hyperinflation, much worse than what we have it here in the US or say in Europe or in Australia, right? Some of these countries are really suffering from hyperinflation. That's why they're turning to Bitcoin. Again, something that has never really happened before in previous cycles. So everything I've just said, all kind of like a first for this cycle. So just imagine once we hit 2024, 2025, when things really start moving, that supply shock really kicks in. Just imagine how the environment will be then, right? It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And in the meantime, we got a lot of technicals also that's very bullish indeed. Here's one that's looking at stochastic RSI, on a monthly scale. We're at the same point, exactly the same point as the previous low points of previous cycles, basically. Okay, so we're exactly at that point. This is the point right before the halving event and right before Bitcoin goes upwards in a parabolic fashion. Okay, so we're like right there. Again, if you want to look at technicals, this is what it's showing. That we're getting ready to go upwards too. Here's a closer time view comparing ourselves right now versus the bottom of 2019 and how there are so many similarities, right? Again, we're at that point right before the parabolic run up. It's all bullish. It's all bullish, right? It's very bullish all around. All right, last two pieces of news. I see this. DCG, one of the company. No, DCG is the parent company of Genesis, and Genesis was a lending company mostly to institutions, but they had this thing with Gemini, right? Gemini Earn was offered by Genesis. Obviously they closed doors, but they agreed to pay $1.1 billion, which is a large amount, covering almost up to 90% of what they lost, right? So I don't know how many of you guys have money stuck in Gemini Earn, but it seems like you'll be getting most of your crypto back. So that's pretty good, but not all of it. Most of it. They say it depends on conditions of the market, right? So before they pay, if the whole market goes upwards, it could be 100%. So pretty good, pretty good. That's pretty much it overall today. We're flipping in the grain. That's good. The market has been pretty strong recently. Coinbase today doing pretty well. 75. Overall crypto market is still hanging in there. Bitcoin still hanging in there. But man, we got some very bullish things coming up. All right, let's do Q&A. All right. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see if I miss any good questions. Jason says, man, I hope George doesn't get fired from his own show too. Well, that's literally impossible unless I decide to fire myself, which may be happening after 2025. But not right now. So again, I said this last night. Rule number 1, when it comes to starting a new business, make sure you have no partners. Make sure you own 100% of it. Then you don't have to worry about being kicked out of your own company. So, and arguably that's probably the most important rule. Let's see. Hablo, I am in Argentina at the moment. Economy here is going to trash. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully you're not there permanently. It seems like you're just there temporarily. But yeah, you know, I hear the news. I hear the headline news about, hyperinflation and stuff. It sucks. Stoom Boot K Jeff. Greetings from Netherlands. How many altcoins do you think one should be holding in their bag? I think there's no right or wrong answer. It could be as little as 0 in terms of altcoins, or it could be like 20, right? As long as you believe in them, you're keeping up with them, making sure that they are promising, or they're doing what they're promising, I should say, right? They're still executing, still building. They haven't given up, right? As long as your thesis on them did not change, it's okay. It's as many as you want. Michael Cash, F355 versus 430, both coups, similar in price. I would not get a F355. It looks gorgeous, I know, and it sounds awesome, but you need to take out the engine just to do a belt change, and they're notorious for catching on fire. So for those reasons, I would never get a F355. Get a 360 instead. The best one to get as a starter Ferrari, try to get a 360 manual. Okay? That was my mistake when I got mine years ago. I got the F1 and it really sucks. But you can find ones in manual, and it's kind of the best of both worlds, right? It's still a great looking car. It's fun to drive. It has awesome sound. The 430 is impossible to find in manual because they produce so little of them. Javi, Elon Mars pumping. I don't care. You think Elon can successfully terraform Mars? I don't think he's going to terraform Mars. I think we're just going to build bases with domes. I mean, I think that's much easier. Which cryptos and next Ethereum is Alby legit? I don't know what Alby is, but it does not sound like a legit project, so not for that. I don't know, next Ethereum. It's too hard to say right now. It's too hard. There's too much competition, and none of them, quite frankly, are anywhere close to Ethereum. Speedy, appreciate that. Am I done after this bull run? I may be. I may be. I have a goal in mind. If I reach that goal, I'm like, okay, that's good enough for me. I don't need to be a billionaire. Okay. I'll probably still stream after I hit my goal, but not nearly as much. David Jacobs is a long way away, but I'm thinking of when it's time to take profits during parabolic chaos. USDT or USDC? What's stable? What's the safest stable coin? I still think it's USDC because they're regulated and in the US. USDT, even though it's much bigger, they're still operating overseas. You don't know what's going to happen.